Okay, hi everyone. This is the first of about 5 or 6 videos I'm going to be doing about how to improve at Call of Duty. I'm only going to be talking about Modern Warfare 3, but some of the stuff I'm going to talk about is going to work for Black Ops as well. Probably the ones before that, although I haven't played them. Now, I've watched a few videos of really good players giving tips, and I don't think they're very good at doing it. So they're great players, but they're not good at explaining why they do well. I think that's because a lot of it's just automatic to them. So they've been playing for 10 years, since they were about 7. Hands are probably mutated and grown in some sort of abnormal way, which lets them hold the controller better. I've only been playing Call of Duty since Black Ops, and I've had to figure out how to do it. So even though I'm nowhere near as good as some of the players out there, I mean, maybe I'm in a better position to explain how to play. Where this series comes from, when I first posted a few videos of me getting Moabs, Fran, Rich, a few others said, I can't do that, I suck, my aim's no good, I'm not that accurate. So I offered to do a video on improving accuracy, and then I thought, well, there's a lot more to it than just shooting, so I'll cover everything. And a fair few others have been asking for tips as well. Now, a few of us are past 30, and the worry you might have is we're past it and we can't compete with the younger players because our reflexes, hand-eye coordination are gone. Now, I don't think that would be right. Most important thing about the game is awareness. So if you look at the videos of really good players getting Moabs, that sort of stuff, and you'll see they don't win 24 gunfights by being quicker on the draw than the other guy. That's just impossible. And they get the 24 kills by shooting the other guy in the back, or in the side, or when he's not ready, when he's not looking. So what really sets them apart is they get into unfair gunfights, not having superhuman reflexes. And that's something I'm going to keep going on and on and on about right the way through. But I'm not going to talk about how to play the game just yet, because I'm going to start from the basics. The first video is on setup. I'm going to cover reducing lag, and the less lag you've got, the better you'll do. Okay, so people asking about how to improve accuracy, reducing lag is going to improve your accuracy a lot. And I'll cover other ways to get more accurate as well. But the first things first, you need to get your setup right. So what causes lag? Well, first thing's internet connection, and second's lag in the system itself, mainly the TV. And I reckon the second one, so TV lag, is screwing people over worse than bad internet. I mean, some people are going to have better internet than others, but I mean, really, we've all got broadband, so how bad can it be? Now, I've got an unfair advantage over most people, which is I've got almost no internet lag and almost no TV lag. And what that means is, if I'm in a gunfight with any of you, I'm going to see you before you see me, and I'm going to see you, and the only thing on your screen is a corner. Secondly, I'm probably going to be more accurate because I'm aiming at where you actually are, and you're aiming at where I was a tenth of a second ago. Okay, so let's start with connection. First thing is get an idea of whether there's a problem. So go to command prompt in Windows, type ping www.bbc.co.uk. So most of our hosts are going to be in England, that's where that site is obviously. See what you get, and there you go, mine's 12. It could be lower if my phone line were any good, I'll come on to that. If you live in the UK or Ireland or the Netherlands and your ping's over 40, then I think something's wrong. And also what you want is a stable ping, so try pressing ping-t to the same site. That will make your computer ping the BBC site over and over. You can see my ping doesn't jump around or spike, and that's going to help with accuracy. If your connection's no good, the obvious way of fixing it is to get a new ISP, although if you don't want to do that, there's other stuff you can do as well. The best connection you can get in England without paying something stupid is fibre to the cabinet. BT have got something called BT Infinity, which is basically fibre to the cabinet. I think a few other ISPs offer it as well. I don't know which ISP has the best fibre to the cabinet connection for gaming. BT won't be the best, you can be sure of that. If you're signing up to an ISP, not just for fibre to the cabinet, you should always avoid the big ones, so BT, Virgin, Sky, anything like that. Or use something called traffic shaping, which means they deliberately slow down your connection at peak times because there's so many people on. A few of the smaller ISPs don't do that. I don't have fibre to the cabinet, Phone Exchange doesn't have it. ISP I use is B Broadband, which I'd recommend as the best thing for people who can't get fibre to the cabinet. Here's their website on screen, it's in the at the bottom as well. They don't use traffic shaping, good customer service too. So there you go. Cable, it's not as good as ADSL because the ping times aren't as stable. I don't know about these 100 megabit Usain Bolt connections you hear about. I mean, maybe they're okay. What next? I think upgrading your internet might be going a bit far for some people, but there are things you can do to make the most of what you've got. And the first one's for people with ADSL. Get your ISP to turn off something called interleaving. Something which makes your connection more stable but slows it down. And with My Internet, you can turn it off on the website. I think with Sky, BT, or most of the others, you need to get in touch with their technical people and nag them to turn off interleaving. And they can do it. I know Sky will. But I said interleaving makes your connection more stable, and if you turn it off, your internet might start dropping, and that's what happened with me. But no worries, there is something you can do about it, which is to increase the noise protection level. I mean, noise protection, just keeping it simple, is a way of making your connection more stable at the cost of slowing it down a bit. But it won't slow down your ping, which is the most important thing, anywhere near as much as interleaving does. With B, you can change it on the website again. With other ISPs, it might be a bit harder because you'll have to persuade tech support to do it. You might have to get them to change it a few times to get the right level of noise protection. And what you want is the lowest possible level without your connection dropping. So the least noise protection. And some people might not need to do this at all. It depends how good your line is. I mean, mine isn't great, so I did need to up the noise protection. Okay, second tip, just a quick one. Use a cable to connect your router to your PS3. Wireless is going to slow your connection down. I bet people are using wireless and they shouldn't be. I mean, it's not going to make a massive difference, but if you follow all the little tips I'll give out, they're all going to add up. And the final connection tip is put your PS3 in a DMZ. So what that means is you're telling your router to let the PS3 have whatever connections it wants. I mean, very, very quickly, the first thing you need to do is assign a static IP to your PS3. And the router won't be able to let the PS3 have whatever connections it wants if the PS3 keeps changing its electronic address. And then when you're giving your PS3 a static IP, you need to log onto your router through your PC or Mac and set up the DMZ from there. And how to do that depends on what router you got, and there's a link to the page in the description explaining what to do, so a link to a web page. Okay, so next thing is TV input lag. And like I said, I'll bet this is screwing people over worse than bad connection, because everyone's connection is probably okay-ish. I mean, like I said, we've all got broadband. How bad can it be? Your TV is going to add lag. There's no question about that. I mean, the only question is how much. How much lag is your TV adding? Well, I don't know really. It depends what TV it is. If you're playing with TV lag, then getting rid of it is going to improve your accuracy a lot. Okay, so here's a web page showing which TVs and monitors are okay, so don't have much lag. Links in the description again. Anything that's not on this list could be adding loads of lag. I mean, it's impossible to say because I don't know what your TV is. I mean, the manufacturers don't give out data on this. They give out data for response times, but I just ignore that because it could be misleading. I mean, you need a website like this which has actually tested it. But whatever your TV, it's an absolute must that you've got gaming mode turned on. So I was speaking to Sean a week or so ago and he didn't have it on. What's gaming mode? Well, your TV will add all sorts of effects to the picture to make it look nice, but adding the effects takes time for the TV, and gaming mode just gets rid of the effects. TV just displays the image as fast as it can without adding anything, so that's what you want. To give you an idea of how much of a problem it is, I mean, some TVs with gaming mode can add like a third of a second of input lag. That's the lag equivalent of playing on a dial-up modem, probably worse in fact. So that is long enough for you to die in Call of Duty. I used to play on my TV and then I realised I had gaming mode off, which was stupid, and then I realised that even with gaming mode on, the TV was still adding lag. So now I play on my monitor, which I know doesn't have any real input lag because I checked. I mean, that list I gave, I mean, you might not be on the list, but you might still be okay. I mean, you just have to find out somehow, maybe some other website, whether your TV's got input lag or not. So basic tip is turn on gaming mode. If you want to go a step further, play on a monitor. I mean, that is if you can be sure your monitor's got less input lag than your TV. If you really want to try hard, then buy a monitor which has been tested as not having any lag or not having much at all. Maybe that's a bit too far for some people. I mean, if you do buy a monitor, you want one with a native resolution of 1080p. Manufacturer should say what the native resolution is, and if you play in a resolution that's not the TV's native resolution, that's going to add lag. Final point, plug the controller in. I mean, like I said, wireless adds lag. I mean, there's some pricey wireless devices which don't, but I did a quick Google search which tells me that the PS3 controller isn't one of them. Not going to make the biggest difference, but like I said earlier, if you do all the little stuff, it's going to add up. So that's it for this video, really. And next time round, we're going to get on to how to actually play the game.